the best match on the card for me is the United States Championship match because of what we saw there. We saw Logan Paul be able to once again wow everybody to defeat Rey Mysterio. Like, you might have predicted the finish, but just the in-ring action again is so amazing. Old schoolers are pulling their hair out saying, how does this guy come off the street and look like he's been wrestling for 20 years? And it's not just about practice. This dude here studies. They say he studies.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, he's giving me a little Ultimate Warrior. He's giving me a little Lex Luger. He's like going through the archives and like, you know what? I can do this move. I do this move. And it becomes like a retro wrestling match of things that you saw years and years ago that he's implementing in the match. It just makes it interesting for me.
I'm curious to see how much he's around. And I know he had the comments after the match saying, oh, looks like because I'm U.S. champ now, I'll have to be around more often, which he will. Because, I mean, if the U.S. title was on Raw, okay, whatever. That's fine because Seth Rollins is there as the champ. Well, Raw's got Gunther and Seth Rollins. Now over on SmackDown, you've got a part-time champ in Roman and a part-time champ in Logan Paul. It just seems like a lot of the work that Hunter has done to elevate those secondary titles, the U.S. title and the Intercontinental Championship, especially with having, at the time before the World Heavyweight Championship came around and Roman was the champion of both shows, walking around with both titles. Looks like unfortunately for us, looks like he's gotten rid of all of them, so Paul doesn't have to walk to the ring with all the other titles around his shoulders while Roman has the belt that they made for him. But they have to have one of those champions has to always be present on that show.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, clearly Roman's not going to be at Survivor Series. He's not advertised for the show. They're doing War Games. He's not going to be a part of it. So he's not going to be around for the next couple of weeks. Hell, I don't know if he's going to be around for the rest of the year until we start getting to Royal Rumble build. So if he's not going to be around, that means Logan Paul has to be around to have at least one of your champions on that show. So, other things don't get lost. I mean, you can't have both of those belts being absent from the show and tell meaningful stories around them.
You are correct about that, sir. And for Logan Paul, like anything else, I don't need to see him wrestle every week, but he gets real heat.
Oh, yeah.
And so when he goes in a promo and if he's setting up a future pay-per-view match or a match that might happen to be on SmackDown, he can talk him into the building or just talk him to the TV. That's what you do today. You talk him into the television or your device. It's like, oh, I can't wait for someone to beat this guy. That's what you want, right?
Yep.
The classic heel is, God, this guy talks so much, and he thinks he's so good. He thinks he's so great. Man, I can't wait for this babyface X, to beat this heel because he thinks he's so good. He's got this big right hand, and he's doing boxing matches, and he thinks that his shit doesn't stink. I can't wait. Well, I think that he provides that kind of heat, even in 2023, for the fans of the WWE Universe.
Yeah, again, I want to make it perfectly clear. I am pro Logan Paul being in WWE.
Oh, sure.
Because not only with the external stuff that he does, and he had a great social media post of all the things that he's doing with the U.S. title. Like, he's laying his bed with his wife. Like, his wife is spooning him. He's spooning the U.S. title. He's showering with the U.S. title on. He's on the treadmill running with the U.S. title on. Like, I understand, like, the appeal of all that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you can't, while you're chasing some of those ancillary fans, this is something that two other sports that I really love and follow, baseball and golf, have struggled with, where they want to appeal to a broader audience because they feel like they're getting too niche. But at the same time, you can't undercut your core value, your core base. So by not having that championship presence on a regular basis, like you said, like, he doesn't need to wrestle. He just literally needs to show up and be on television every week